And of course, it's been pretty interesting, all the stuff that Jon Jones has been saying to the media this week. And I'm sure there's more to come, but check out these.
A great athlete, but I do feel like he's a one-trick pony. I believe that his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated. He has a beautiful 1-2. I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. That's really about it. That's the one thing that he's setting up real nice. He couldn't touch Cyril Gane at all. That's the way I felt. I felt like Gane was just getting warmed up. Gane's hands was down. He was shaking his shoulders, bouncing around.
He was touching him. He was touching him.
That jab,
he was so
he busted him open.
He was so comfortable.
I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it. He needs to change his game.
And he won't fight me. And he says that he won't fight me because it's too much of a gamble.
Aspinall to me is no difference than an Owen St. Prude or Dominic Reyes or Anthony Smith. Like just another up-and-comer that's exciting right now. And I'm not into gambling my legacy for what's exciting.
And John, if you're not into gambling your legacy, that to me sounds like you're scared of losing against me.
Tom Aspinall has finally responded to Jon Jones after the pound-for-pound legend's latest round of disrespectful comments, and this time, he's not holding back. After Jones labeled him overrated, a one-trick pony, and claimed that Cyril Gane was dominating him before the eye poke, Aspinall decided enough was enough. The usually composed and respectful British fighter broke his silence, reportedly stating that Jon Jones sounds like a man who's forgotten what fighting is truly about.
I'll be interested to see if he wins his next fight. Cyril Gane, supposedly. There's a video that hasn't gone viral, but one of his losses, he was very much an adult, I believe already a black belt, and he was taken down and the guy twisted his ankle. He had no defense. He tapped so quickly. I had a fight where I got arm barred and I was literally willing to let somebody break my arm before giving up. Go for Vitor Belfort. With Tom, the moment he felt any pressure on his ankle, he tapped immediately, which lets me know a lot about him.
Jon, in my opinion, if you look at his body of work over the last 15 years, he's like as close as you can get to perfection as possible. He's like 37, 38 years old, but not only that, he's got 1 million miles on the clock. So he's got a lot of damage on the body. He's took a lot of shots to the head. And that's not me saying anything negative about it. That's the reality of it. And I'm sure Jon Jones is aware of that. And he's fighting one of the most concussive punchers in UFC history. And I just think I can exploit it. Like, I think to get out the way of me for 25 minutes at this point in his career without getting hit once, and that's all I need is just one, I think that's going to be very difficult for anybody.
Fight not happening.
Well, it could be for two reasons. It's either that Jon Jones is using a strategy to have more money.
You can say it, JP. Go for it. Come on, say what you want to say.
But I think that's why he's doing it.
Okay.
You know, if he's doing it just to hold the title, to serve the wave, this is not. And if he has no intention of coming back, that's not right, you know. But if he does it for as a strategy to have more money, I can understand why. But I think that the UFC needs to do something to get things moving. Either pay him what he wants, or make negotiation happen, or get things moving. Because athletes as a window, they can't wait forever. And when that window is passed, your money-making machine is broke, is finished. Yeah.
Do you think that's a fight that the UFC needs right now?
Well, there's a lot of other fights to make, like Elias Topuria. They have Islam Makhachev. They have Mira. There's so many guys that are very fun to watch. Islam Makhachev, Khamzat Chimaev. There's so many stars. I think it's as a fan, I would have loved to see this fight. It just depends if Jon Jones really want to do this, and if the UFC needs to take action. You know, like sit at the table with Jon Jones seriously and commit and make it happen, or either move on.
It doesn't seem like Jon really likes the topic very much. He actually walked off a podcast, the Full Send Show, the other day because he got asked about the topic, and
Really?
he was like, "Yeah, I'm done here," and just kind of got up and walked off.
Yeah.
Tom loves talking about it.
Yeah, of course, because he's young and hungry. But UFC needs to do something, and I think Jon needs to give his price.
He responded by saying, "How can I be overrated when I've never even had the chance to show my full game? Every fight I've had, I've finished my opponents. No one has lasted long enough for me to truly demonstrate what I'm capable of." And he has a point. Tom Aspinall has dominated nearly every opponent he's faced in the UFC, finishing fights quickly with a rare combination of speed, power, and ground skill. He's one of the few heavyweights who moves like a middleweight, hits with knockout force, and can submit anyone on the mat. Yet his momentum was stalled for over a year, as Jon Jones held up the division by refusing to defend his title, keeping contenders waiting. When Aspinall finally returned to the Octagon, he suffered one of the most unfortunate outcomes possible: a double eye poke from Cyril Gane that resulted in a no contest.
I think Tom, as far as the crop and yeah, again, he's not even that active, but as far as active fighters, Tom's the best heavyweight we have to offer. That being said, and I love Tom, I'm a big believer in Tom, but there are some holes in his game if you watch enough fighting. Even though he's starching everybody, he's not starching elite level guys. He's beating and demolishing guys that are offered to him, but the heavyweight division has never been weaker. So you're basically the king of the mediocre heavyweight division. But again, not his fault. But with saying that, it goes to show that Tom does have some issues in his game that at a certain level will get exposed. So if you bring up Tom's record, my issue for Tom is, so Tom's one of the most athletic, Don might be the only more athletic heavyweight in the division, but Tom's fucking right up there. So Tom's big, he's fast, he's athletic, he has jiu-jitsu as far as we know.
I bet if he's weighing 215, he would fight Tom Aspinall better than him weighing 245 pounds. In his 205 frame, he could fight Tom Aspinall better than he'd fight him at that 250 because that's not his weight class. While he didn't last long with Cyril, he didn't look as fast. He carried more weight. Cyril just did some weird stuff. And Jon, you don't make mistakes against Jon.
Who's next big heavyweight star?
Tom Aspinall, the guy who
Of
just
course, who
won
just
the
won.
interim title. He's phenomenal, and he is again the next the next advancement of the evolution of the sport.
How so?
Well, because he can do everything. That guy's got elite jiu-jitsu. He's got elite takedowns. His striking is outstanding. I mean, he knocked out Sergey, who's the scariest fucking striker in all of MMA.
Yeah.
And he knocked him out in the first round. And the way he did it was just picture perfect. And he did it with a fucked up back. You watch Aspinall, like, I knew Aspinall was going to have a speed advantage because he's faster than any heavyweight.
Yeah.
And that's something that his coach drilled into him when he was young.
Speed.
Like, be fast. Like, you got to be fast. That's what's going to separate you from everybody else.
Speed kills.
Speed. And he's a giant dude, 260 plus pounds, but he moves like a fast young guy.
Yeah.
Like a light guy. And so and he's also just so well-rounded. And he's just beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really the first big test of his career.
Tom Aspinall didn't quit. He literally couldn't see. After being rushed to the hospital, he's still recovering, yet he continues to face ridicule from fighters and fans led by Jon Jones, as if the injury were somehow his fault. Tom's father, Andy Aspinall, recently expressed how disgusted they both were by the disrespect, particularly from someone like Jones, who has withdrawn from more fights than any other heavyweight in UFC history. Andy remarked, "If Jon got poked that badly, do you really think he'd keep going? He'd probably call the whole world corrupt before stepping back in that cage." Many in the MMA community have come to Tom's defense, agreeing that Jones's comments are nothing more than an attempt to get under his skin.
The main event was a nightmare. I think that after the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Cyril Gane off. He looked damn good tonight. They're both in shape, other than whatever's wrong with his eye. Both guys are not injured, or so as soon as possible. I can't make people fight, right? If I want to put together a fight, I can't make people fight, and you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured. Only Tom knows what happened. You know, could he see? Couldn't he see? Could he continue? Only he knows that. The fight just got over however long ago. What makes sense is to do the rematch. It makes sense. Sitting here tonight, I say, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. Anything can happen between now and, when I get him. We're not talking this Tuesday. I go from here to Saudi. I go to Qatar, then Saudi. I'm still here for another 8 or 9 days. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying anybody's going to be a number one contender outside of Cyril Gane. I don't know. But right here, right now, being honest, which I never do this ever, is talk about, what next fight's going to happen. The rematch is what.
Jon Jones mind games, but this time they're not working. Tom Aspinall isn't taking the bait. He's staying calm and focused, saying he'll let his next performance do the talking. Once he's fully recovered, he intends to prove that not only is he not overrated, but that he's the future of the heavyweight division. And that's what makes this situation even more significant. The more Jones talks, the more people are beginning to wonder if maybe it isn't Tom Aspinall who's overrated, but Jon Jones who's afraid. Aspinall has made it clear that once he's cleared to compete again, he's coming for whoever holds the belt, whether that's Jon Jones, Alex Pereira, or anyone else willing to step up. His mission is simple: to prove he's the best heavyweight in the world. And after everything that's unfolded, this rivalry has become deeply personal.